Just so you understand what don't dismay means, that is an old word for being upset or being without belief in something. And that's what that word means when you see it in the Bible verse. The other word you'll see in the Bible verse is righteousness. That means to believe and live close as possible to living a Christ-like lifestyle. The other thing you'll see in there is strengthen. Strengthen to me means you get stronger, either physically or emotionally stronger, from learning life's lessons. Now, Isaiah is important because he was a prophet, and he talked about what had yet happened. And sometimes his stories weren't as relevant in the time which he lived as they are today. They're probably more relevant today than they were then, because at the time they were relevant to the people in the world which he lived in. And Isaiah, like all the prophets, lived in a world where they were constantly changing leaders, and there was always someone new taking over. Their job, basically, as a role, was to tell the futures for the leaders of the community, or to teach about the Word of God to the average human. That was their whole job, to foresee the future. That's what the word prophet means. Okay? Seeing a future that's yet to be told. Telling the future. Now, their predictions were based on what Christ or God allowed them to see. That's one of the things about prophets. Some don't work for Christ and God, but some do. And ones like Isaiah, Daniel, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, Ecclesiastics, they all work for God. And it's part of the Old Testament where they divide the Old Testament by sections of what it is. And I just chose Isaiah 41 because I didn't really know it that well, but I thought it would be a good verse for change to get out of the New Testament. Old New Testament, that's what I try to do, one Old, one New Testament work. And that's what it was, is Old Testament Day today. And I just Googled it and found it from a Google search about Bible verses.